Hello friends, today in this tutorial I will be showing you that how basically you can encode your images inside Base64 code here. So you can follow two approaches out there. Either it can be using Canvas or FileReader class. So these are the two methods we can use in order to convert our URL of image to a Base64 code. So you can see this is the image which is hosted on the internet and we are getting this Base64 code. Basically it's a very long code. This code, if you open this inside the browser, you will see this is actual image which is shown here, Google image. So basically every image has a unique Base64 code attached to it. So we will be using how to basically convert any image from the URL. I can take this image, let's suppose I copy this image address, and simply if I paste it inside this text box, click on submit, we will see the image will change here, and this time this is the unique Base64 code which is generated for this image. So this is a very good utility kind of an application, guys. So many a times you will need the URL Base64 code of the image. You can simply provide the URL of the image. It can be hosted on anywhere on the internet. You just need to copy image address, simply paste it. You can follow two approaches out there. FileReader also, click on submit, you can see your Base64 code. So you can simply copy it. So there are very tool websites available on the internet as well which does the same thing. So we will try to build this application from scratch. So all the source code, guys, is given in the description of this video. So this is built using some kind of jQuery and Bootstrap. This is a blog post. You can see that we are using jQuery here to convert the remote image URL to Base64 code, encode it, and you can follow the step-by-step instructions. So I will not be writing the HTML code, guys, which is built using the Bootstrap template. So you can copy this source code inside the blog post. So now let me start only with the JavaScript code here. So what I will do is that I will just store this code inside a file so that I can explain you step by step what we do. So right here I will delete this code of JavaScript. So basically you just go to the blog post and copy paste this HTML code, guys. So also include the CDN for Bootstrap and jQuery. If you now open this, you will see this is the simple interface out there. It contains a select field, a drop down where you can have two options, either Canvas or FileReader. This is your input field where you will enter the URL of the image, and then we have the submit button. So whenever you click this button, your Base64 code will be generated. So right here inside our JavaScript section, guys, we will write our file. So we will include it this file script.js. So inside our root directory we can just rename this file to, let's suppose, base64.js. so inside the root directory we can make this file. So the very first thing we will do, guys, inside this, we will first of all target the actual form. So we have given the form a ID which is image2 B64. If you closely look at the form, guys, you will see, if I show you the form, you have given this ID to the form. So we are just targeting the form here by jQuery, and it contains a submit button, submit event handler. So whenever the form submits, this will have a event parameter attached to it. So we can simply here first of all get the image URL like this, image URL, and this will be present inside this dot find, and we will be finding a attribute called as with a name attribute which is URL. So name is equal to URL. We will get its value like this. Val method is there. So what essentially we are doing, we are getting the URL which the user writes here. Inside your input field, you will see that we have given this input type is equal to URL. So we are just, also we have given name attribute of URL. So we are just getting the value of the input field out there like this. So after you do this, guys, we get the value, and also we will be getting the value of the drop downs whichever the user has selected. So once again we will use the same find method, and inside this time we will pass the name to be convert type. So close the single quotes, and we will get the value like this. So again inside HTML we have this select field. We have given the name attribute convert type, so we are targeting it inside JavaScript. We are getting its value. After doing this, guys, based upon the value that the user has selected, convert type, we will either call, it can be either file reader or it can be the other one, which will be, so basically we are using a ternary operator here. So we are essentially saying that if the value is equal to file reader, because two options are there. If I show you the application, two options are there, canvas or file reader. So if we are saying that if the value is equal to file reader, then execute this function, which is called as convert file to data URL using the approach file reader. This is a function name. And else we will write a colon symbol, else we will be executing this function convert image to data URL. This is basically a function name, guys, so you can just canvas. So these are the two functions we have initialized. So now we need to call this function convert function, and here we will pass the image URL and a second parameter which will be the callback function. So whenever this conversion is completed, this automatically will execute, which is this callback function. So now we need to make this function, guys, right here. And also we need to first of all also prevent the auto submission of the form. So e.prevent default. So just call this, and now we just need to make these two functions which we have initialized, guys, convert file to data URL reader on this one also. So we can just go to the description of this blog post. You will find both these functions. So I will explain you what is happening here also. This is a second function you see. This is using the concept of file reader. So now let me make these two methods here. So first method, we will be making use of this function convert file reader. This is the first function, and this is the second function, which is using the canvas one. These are the two functions we have initialized. So first of all, we will write our file reader one, guys. So inside file reader, we will be expecting the URL and the callback. Two things are passed to it. And basically, first of all, we will be using here XML HTTP request here. And basically it's AJAX request, and this contains a onload. So whenever the request is initialized, so inside this callback function, we will try to read the file here. So you will initialize reader, and this will be equal to new file reader. This is basically a class available inside JavaScript, file reader, which allows you to read files automatically. So in this case, we will be reading the URL reader onload, and so inside this callback function, we just need to call this callback, and basically we just need to pass the result here, reader.result. So this will actually contain the result of this file reader class, and also here we just need to reader.read as data URL. So basically this will encode this image to a base64 URL. This is a method which is used, read as data URL, and here we will simply pass xhr.response. So whatever is the response coming. And now we need to open this request, xhr open. We will make a get request to this URL that you provide. So we just need to provide the URL here, and the response type will be equal to here blob. Blob, as you all know, it's a special data type. xhr, we will send out this request automatically. So what will happen here, if we select the file reader approach, then this function will automatically execute, and after this it will call this callback function, and it will contain this base64 image. So now we just need to show this image on the screen. So for showing it, we will simply use some jQuery code here. So we'll select the element which has the class of output. We will find out inside this another class which has a text box in it. We will make the value as base64. So if you just write like this, if you open this, basically what happens, if you select, if you paste it, click submit. So we have selected the canvas approach. So we have written the function for file reader, click submit. So click on console here, nothing happens. Let me see why it hasn't done that convert function. Oh sorry, we also need to call the end method as well, so that's why. And just call this method end method. So now it will execute this. So change to file reader. I think you need to just initialize all this. So the link is given in the description of this video, guys. So of all the source code. So basically this is just a displaying of the base64 code. Simply copy this code and here inside you paste it here. So essentially it is calling these jQuery selectors. It is showing the base64 image. It is showing the code as well, actual image as well inside the HTML elements that we have initialized here. So if I now so let me see here why. Let me turn autosave is on. Base64.js. Let me just go to the description of this video. Copy paste all the source code here. So this is the second approach, guys. Let me explain to you. This is the second method. So here we are using our canvas approach, guys. So basically we are initializing a new instance of the image constructor. We are setting a property of cross region to anonymous. Then when the image loads, we are creating a canvas element dynamically and we are drawing it on the canvas using the draw image method on XY coordinate to be 0, 0. And then we are simply using this toData URL. This is a method which is used to extract or convert or export the canvas to a base64 image toData URL. Here we were using read as data URL and this one we are using toData URL. So essentially these are the two methods and again we are calling the same callback function here. And basically this function also expects 3 arguments to be passed to it. If you see, yes, this is the 3 arguments which is there. Inside these method we are expecting these 3 things. So essentially let me now image to base64. I think let me check the spelling also. Yeah, let me now open this, click on submit. You will now see this will definitely work here and you can take any image of, let's suppose I take this image. Let's suppose you now file reader approach, click submit. You will see that it will convert your image to base64 code. So this is the application we have developed in this tutorial. So thank you very much guys for watching this. The link is given, source code is given in description of this video and I will be seeing you in the next one.